Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. Hey, that's pretty good company, isn't it, JJ? Security systems for your home or office, life safety systems from nurse call to monitoring, annual testing for your business's fire and safety systems, which you have to do if you run a business. Safety Systems can do all that for you. They can also take care of your home if you're looking for entertainment systems. Check them out online or give a call to VFL JJ Surlis. You want to give out your phone number right now? You probably don't. Don't do that. That's not smart. But you can call his business number, JJ Surlis and Safety Systems. All right, let's go ahead. I threw my director here. Good catch, Chris Lane. Let's take a look at the graphic. Who's in better shape now? Now, this is interesting. Coaches since 2009. Florida with 5, Tennessee with 5. SEC titles since 2009. Florida, none. Tennessee, none. Winning seasons the last 5 years. Florida has one more than you. Last 10 recruiting classes, they averaged 12th in the nation. You average 15th in the nation. There's a lot of people who believe that Florida is this, well, they're up there with Alabama and Georgia. No, they really aren't. I think they're mimicking Tennessee in the fact that they're mowing through coaches at this point. And that brings me to my last part of this question. That is, throw into the mix, you've got Josh Heupel, you've seen for 17 games now. They've got Billy Napier. First year, inherited a team that doesn't have a great quarterback. But if you told me if you're going to put money on one of these programs over the next 5 years, and this is the first time I would have said this in a long, long time, I'm putting my money on Tennessee. I may be eating that money at the end of the year. I think Tennessee's in better shape than Florida as a program. Discuss. Go ahead and laugh at me or agree.
Go ahead.
I agree. I mean, if you look at it, and those stats say a lot. Now, they've improved from last year. They were 2-6 in the SEC last year. They quit. They just flat out quit. They didn't quit, obviously, yesterday, which I wish they would have, and it had saved me high blood pressure, which you have to worry about as you get older. But it's one of those things. Tennessee is, and you've got more sample sizes with Josh Heupel now. But I think you saw, we talked about it earlier, Napier calling the timeout on the third down. Clock could have run down to under a minute, and called the timeout. I think there's some things he can still learn from. I think we're in a much better position.
The 15-yard penalty down at the goal line,
which
was that big of a penalty, but it gave you a first down.
Brand new first down. So now all of a sudden you change your mindset. I got 4 shots now.
And if they had called that a touchdown, it would have been a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff that he would have been costing his team. I would also throw out there, Florida had 10 penalties. You had fewer penalties yesterday. Florida had 3 complete busts. We mentioned the McCoy catch earlier. That was uncovered. When I say bust, I don't mean they ran by somebody. I mean 3 times, no one covered their man. Florida yesterday, to me, looked the way Tennessee has looked in that game in the past. And I also felt like Florida felt like the team that was just, we have to do everything right to keep our head above water. So many times I've seen Tennessee against Florida, it's like they can't afford a mistake, Florida felt that way to me. Jimmy, am I overstating it?
No, I think that I think Tennessee's in better shape, and I think it's primarily because of Josh Heupel. I didn't like the way Billy Napier managed that game. We talked about the mistakes he made there, and I don't know what he hitches his wagon to. I know what Heupel does. It's his offense, and it's a special offense, and it's leading the SEC in scoring and total offense, I think, still. So I believe that going forward you'll continue to see Tennessee's offense flourish. I don't know what Florida's is going to be like. And I think I would take Tennessee because I like Heupel more than I do Napier.
JJ, whose program's in better shape, better trajectory?
I think Tennessee's is definitely. I mean, just watching the athletes that were on the field yesterday, I think we have better athletes right now than they do. And that's not always been the case. But I think that we're in much better shape.
All right.
Here's the reason I thought Florida was here and Tennessee was here for a long time. It goes back to what JJ said. The perception was Florida walks out its back door and look at all the talent that I have. I just bring them in here and I'm good. And I think they have found out, much like Tennessee has, over the years, what a difference coaching can make. Because they still have, better recruiting classes than Tennessee
barely.
over the past few years, barely.
With that great advantage, there's not a huge difference there.
And that is the reason, I think, a big reason Tennessee has closed the gap. Hopefully Tennessee has solved the coaching cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Florida has. But that big recruiting advantage that, Florida's going to be up here every year from now until the end of time, it just hasn't played out.
It helped get Mullen fired because he did not recruit as well as they thought he should.
And personally, I think they made a mistake there. I thought that was a Tennessee-like move. You were in Atlanta the year before. You had a team that clearly quit on you.
Yeah.
You just had a stat
Yeah.
in between the segments of Anthony Richardson. You heard his high school record was not good. I don't know how many winners they had on that team that quit on him. I would have said, we know what Mullen's done for his career. Let's let him get some other guys in here and stop looking at the recruiting rankings. I think they made a panicky move. Maybe Napier wins a national title down there, but I think you are in a better trajectory right now.
One last thing I want to comment to is I will be curious to see what the sample size comes out of all the recruits that were there yesterday, right? And that atmosphere. So that's what really starts boosting you as well. You get those 5-star D-line that are like, wait a minute, I see a need for defense. I see this environment. Man, I want to come be a part of
It's
it.
not an automatic you're going to lose a player if Tennessee, if Alabama and Georgia want them.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Not anymore.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we were talking about defense in the secondary. You've already this year gone out and gotten a commitment of a quarterback away from Georgia who they wanted, a cornerback away from Texas who they wanted. So you're starting to turn that corner. And let's face it, I think where the recruiting averages have not been that different anyway, the NIL, at least right now with Tennessee so sophisticated with Spire Sports and everything so ahead of the game, that may help you as well in terms of keeping pace with Florida and passing Florida. I'll eat these words by December, but I just think that when you look at it at Florida and you say they've fired just as many coaches as Tennessee has, they've got the same treadmill you have, and they haven't won a title since 2008.
And they've got all that talent right out that back door.
Right, and that's what everybody leans on. Well, if you don't take advantage of it, how do you count it? So, all right, interesting. I'm surprised I didn't get more blowback. All right, when we come back, how big was this win for the people in and around that program? Let's ask the VFLs about beating Florida. What does it in any way change their perception of Josh Heupel? Does it validate what he's doing a little bit more? Let's discuss. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Away from home? Watch the Sports Source live at WATE.com.